what's that? What's that? What's that? They call it O-D-D-C. Hey, what that stand for? Tell them what that stand for. That's off the chain. It off the chain. Everything, it be off the chain. It's off the chain. What she talk about be off the chain. It's off the chain. It's off the chain. You know the name, Mizz Allure, gonna run the game. O-D-C. Ooh, oh, what's that? I tell them, O-D-D-C. It's off the chain. She bout to do a thing. Run it up on YPP. This ODC, hold on, that STL. Now we in the triple D. Now throw your hood up. Where the side at? Where your ride at? Where your vibe at? Now turn it up, turn it up, turn it on, turn it on. Off the chain, and we on. Let go. And I go by YPP, and I approve this message. Let's run it.
It's your girl, Mizz Allure.
Mizz Allure, you're building, man.
I wish y'all could hear my freaking intro. Like, OMG, that's all right, y'all will later. But it's your girl, Mizz Allure. You're now tuned in to Offdachainpodcast. And today, I have a very special guest. Somebody I think y'all should know. But I'm going to allow him to introduce himself.
What's going on, family, man? Josias Calhoun, Mr. Think Smart, nationally known. I'm out here empowering the world with my gift. I'm proud to say that it's growing. I'm proud to say that I'm growing. Man, it's a wonderful life.
Well, I mean, while you talking, go ahead and give them synopsis of what you do.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm an empowerment speaker. I'm a writer. I'm an entrepreneur. But I'm still a hustling entrepreneur.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm a hustling entrepreneur.
And tell them where you from. You know, you gotta tell them.
I definitely do that. Man, what's up, St. Louis? Stand up. By way of Berkeley, we in here, man. We in the house, man. I always say that. They like, why you say that outside, Berkeley? We not, cause Berkeley, we in the house. I'm here,
and I
man.
say that because you know you can't spell hustle without the STL.
You can't spell hustle without the STL. You cannot do, man. You know, it's a lovely thing and a blessed opportunity to be on your podcast.
Really?
It is, man. Because you know what? You know, I've been asked to be on a few podcasts I've been on. It was cool, but to share this couch with you. And then,
I appreciate that.
And then the fact that you from St. Louis is even better because I know you understand me.
For sure.
You understand me. Like, I don't have to play around. You understand that we ain't got them all. We ain't got them all. We have them all, but we ain't got them all. We think different.
Basically.
We think different. And no disrespect to right here where we are in Dallas. No disrespect to Dallas, no disrespect to Atlanta, California, Alabama,
We just
Mississippi.
talking about where
we talking about where we're from. Every city thinks different because of where you were raised. So
That's
you understand
true.
my thought process for certain things, even though you grow out those things. And that's what we're here to talk about, because we're here to talk about what? Mental health?
Yes.
We're talking about mental health. Yeah.
Well, actually, before we get into the topic, which is identifying mental health, and the reason why I chose that topic is because mental health consists of a whole bunch of disorders put together. So it's like I can't talk about, mental health without actually breaking it down to exactly what it is. So I just kind of wanted you all to get to see who we are individually before I get to talking about it. And I may get emotional because I am very sensitive. Shout out to my fellow Tauruses.
Hey, ain't wrong with that, man.
So I'm just letting y'all know, bear with me just in case.
We call that passion.
True, yes, and it is a topic that I am passionate about. So as y'all can see, I ain't even wear no lashes because I already knew the situation. So
depending on where you're watching it, you know if she ain't have a lash. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can tell she ain't have a lash. But if you're just listening, you can't tell what she got.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it though, because I know we're recording for YouTube.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
see, mind your business.
Yeah, that's funny.
No, but no, seriously though, on a real tip though, I wanted to talk about it because, and I don't really know how to word it, but I'm gonna just say it so y'all can take from it what you want. But it's like people that deal with depression and certain issues, it's not normal to feel that way, but it has become normalized because of the time that we in, I should say. And I really don't know how to really word that because it's like some people think it's normal And it's like, in a way, it is because of what we're going through, but it's not normal. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Some people may get what I'm saying.
I get it. You know what? Shout outs, man. We just we're at the breaking point and the ending of Suicide Week, Suicide Awareness.
Well,
Week.
actually, the whole month is supposed to be there.
Right, the whole month, supposed to be month, but you look on internet where they say it's just supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
But the whole month is definitely Suicide Week, man. And we're gonna that's a form of mental health.
That's actually another major reason
Yeah.
as to why I picked
Yeah.
this.
So
Because
I'm gonna let you do the show that because I know me and I have my own show and I start taking over and I don't want to do that.
You are
This your show.
You are okay.
Off the chain. That's what this is off the chain. It's not the process. It's not none of the shows that I do. So I'm not gonna do that. It's just like I said, man. It's a blessing just to be on your show, man. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate being in the presence of greatness.
Well, thank you.
I do.
I
man.
appreciate that.
When two great minds come together, great things happen, man. And I appreciate it because I definitely.
We're forced to be reckoned with when you work together. If
it's
only we can do this on a regular basis,
Man.
like with other people. I'm trying to tell you. No, so I got a question for you. So, in your opinion, what is mental health to you?
Whew, mental health. Mental health. I shared this idea and this thought from a very special friend of mine. She's a social worker.
I used to want to be a social worker.
And she's taught me so much when it comes to just mental health, and she is a strong advocate of mental health. And she really focuses on it because that's her job. I mean, of course, that's her job, but that's her passion. She's actually building her business now. JTSW, just that social worker. She's building that right now. So shout outs to her, man. Lady much, and it's gonna crack for you. So,
Might have to look at her.
yeah. Right now it's still in the working. But give it maybe to the end of the year, and you're gonna be able to really tap into it. She's gonna take the thing to a whole nother level. But what do I think when I think mental health, or what do I think of mental health? Back to the question. Mental health is mental health to me is when you think about health, let's focus on the words. Mental meaning your thought process.
True.
Health meaning healthy or unhealthy. Physically, mentally, whatever. It's about how healthy you are, how good, how bad, how structured, how disciplined you are with your mental. And so when I think mental health is like, I think, you can use the word health, but I'm gonna say how disciplined you are with your thought process, how structured you are with your thought process.
Yeah, that's actually a big part of it because, of course, the dictionary definition of mental health is a person's condition with regard to their psychological and emotional well-being. So, yeah, pretty much you said that.
I ain't look at the definition.
I did because, believe it or not, like I said, when you say mental health, it can mean a billion things. So when people say that, a lot of people really don't know, the definition of mental health. So that's the main kind of reason why I wrote it down. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make sure I do that. But to me, I feel like that mental health is a great impact on our life, and I think that it's very important in every stage of our life as well.
It is.
From childhood on up to adulthood, because what people fail to realize, like myself included, when we react to certain things with strictly our emotions, that's an issue. You see what I'm saying? Because your emotions is unbalanced. And it's something that has caused that, whether it was some type of trauma you went through, you know what I'm saying, childhood or adulthood. So it's like people fail to realize that mental illness and mental health in general, which it is separate, but they all kind of come together, just FYI. But it changes, or it affects how we interact with people. It affects how we react to things. It affects just our day-to-day, regular activities. And I don't think people really realize that. But it kind of frustrates me at the same time because it's such a general topic. You know what I'm saying? It's general. Like mental health is so general. Like I could be extremely tired, or one day you don't want to be bothered. Somebody would probably assume you depressed. You see what I'm saying? Because that is a sign of depression. And that's really not what the case may be. So that's why I said those type of topics you have to kind of break down as to what it means. And for myself, my mental health is every damn thing.
Right.
I've been through a significant amount of trauma starting from 3, you know what I'm saying, on up, and I'm 32 now. So I have a lot of issues that I have worked with, and I actually started counseling last year, and I'm a strong advocate for counseling. So
I'm trying to get that.
I urge anybody, if you need counseling, or if it's something, well, I'm telling you, a lot of people may not understand that they need counseling until they tired of their own self.
Right. Because sometimes you just need somebody to talk to.
True, but it's best to talk to somebody that don't know you.
Exactly.
And people don't get that, the importance of talking to somebody that really don't know your situation in a way, but still be able to compromise and understand where you're coming from. Because talking to people that you know, unfortunately, they just as fucked up as we is. So a lot of the time.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So dealing with mental health, like we said, we all suffer it. I almost committed suicide in 2015.
I hate to hear that. I'm glad you're still here with us.
I'm definitely glad, because so it's going kind of go spiritual, but I'm definitely going I'm gonna tell you this brief story. So 2015 I moved to Dallas. That was in 2015, but I had suffered so much. I was going through a mental war because leaving St. Louis, I was working for my alma mater. I felt like I was neglected. I felt like I was used. I felt like I wasn't wanted in the sense of actually like my abilities were there. Everybody saw my abilities and what I can do, because it showed forth the time I was there. Like anything that I did, it flourished. Like it was blessed. I was gifted. I was favored. Like it just, if I put my hands on it, it flourished. Any program, any event, anything that I did, it just grew. People loved me. Had a favor with me. People enjoyed my programs. People enjoyed me. But then you had them haters. Yeah. And then my pockets. I did it for the passion, but then my pockets were flat when I say that. Like I was getting paid pennies for what I was doing, and then they were my alma mater was bringing people in. There's no.
Can you tell people what that means? Because
my alma mater is the school I went to.
Some people don't know that.
They don't know.
I actually learned of that term last year. So
are you serious?
Yes, I've never heard that. So that's why I said that.
My alma mater is Harris State University, St. Louis, Missouri, homegrown. But they were in transition of building and bringing in new people, which is fine. But in the process of bringing new people in, sometimes you suffer the fact that somebody can get into a spot either above you or right next to you that don't have as much education.
True. And
me being from the urban community, the hood, and really pushing forward because I wanted better for myself, and I went to school. You just had that picture in your mind like, I'm going to get this,
right? And
it didn't happen. So I was going through the trauma of doing all this stuff, being successful doing it, but I wasn't getting the money that I thought I was supposed to get. And then people coming behind me that didn't have as much education or as much experience that I had, and they was getting paid, got frustrated.
You start self-doubting.
Exactly, and it's like, dang, what am I worth? And then you have the relationship problems, you have the life problems and all that stuff. Like it was a point in time, and I'm gonna put this out there. It was a point in time right before I left. I was drinking so much, and I was like, and I'm not gonna say I wasn't like a casual drinker, but I was drinking so much to one of my business partner. I'll put him out, Roy Harris. Shout out to Roy Harris.
Hey Roy.
That's my dude. Still my business partner today, and everything that I do. And he actually, this is when you know that it's a problem. We was at this bar, and we was meeting there like every day after work, and we was staying there for hours, and we were just spending money. We was there so much. It's like I was basically Norm. From Cheers, like when I got there, Joe, they were like, "What's up, Joe?" Like I was Norm.
They started knowing, I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Like I didn't have to, listen. I did not have to ask for my drink because they knew what I was drinking. That's how
crazy.
Bad it got. So we sit down, we talking, whatever, and I'm just throwing them back. I'm saying shot. I'm taking a shot. Like, these are not regular alcoholic nights where you just are just having a drink to lay back.
Right.
I'm taking shots and shots and shots, 7, 8, 9, 10 shots a day.
Right.
And then drinking too. Standing at the bar, maybe these little bars, maybe like 3-4 hours. So, he told me, he said, bro, excuse me, he was like, bro, I didn't want to say nothing, but he was like, man, what's really going on? I was like, what's something we drinking? We good. He was like, no, bro. He said, I've been knowing you for 10 years. He was like, at that time it was like 10 years. He was like, bro, something wrong. I know, cause you're actually like not just drinking, but just like your aggression, even your aggression with women. Cause I think I had just went through a breakup. Like your aggression with women right now these last 6 months, and then your drinking is like you real hard. Like that ain't your character. That ain't you. He was like, and it ain't really the alcohol. I think it's something deeper. He said, what's up? So we talked about it, and I kind of broke down and like just told him. He's like, okay. He's like, bro, but he said, bro, you better than that. He said, be you. I said, all right, be me. Still drank for a long time, but I started being me. But then I said, well, I made a decision, and I prayed about it, and I was like, God, if it's for me to move to Dallas, like I always wanted to, open up the doors. Like, by any means necessary, open up the door, make it scot-free.
Right.
He did that. Like, it was so easy to get here. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't. When I say so easy to get here, I wasn't supposed to be here. Like the way it happened, like my apartment, like the guy. All right, like the guy who gave me an apartment without a job, without financial stuff, without anything. He gave me an apartment. He ended up, check it out, and then he ended up getting fired 3 weeks later.
Wow.
So it's like he was in perfect position to get me here, to give me a place, whatever. Wham. Didn't have a gig, and didn't really think about, like, you thinking like, okay, we in Dallas, it's big, where I got 2 degrees, I'm good, I'm gonna find a gig. Man, it took me like 8 months to find a gig, right? So
that's stressful within itself.
Cause I had a lump sum of money, but we don't have money replacing that money.
Exactly.
It just decreased.
It wasn't residual income at the time.
Exactly. So I was getting depressed. I'm already in a new city. This is after the fact that I left. No family here, nothing like that. And then, you going back and forth with a situation with your relationships. And then you got not even just your relationship, your friendships.
This still a relationship, whether it's friendship, family,
or whatever.
boyfriend, girlfriend.
Like, it was crazy. And I was looking in the mirror one day. I'll never forget it. I was looking in the mirror, had my gun laying right down the bed. And I was just like, I can end it all, and I don't think anybody would care. Like, that's like you be in a mental battle like that, and you be like.
And that's crazy because people really, really go through stuff like that.
Yes, they do. Because I talk to them all the time. And I never thought I would be at that point, because you never think, like, I never kill myself, whatever. But I was at that breaking point, like, I can end it all, and I could just disappear.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
I'm glad I didn't either. But then, I ain't gonna lie, I had a pistol in my hand, cocked it, whatever, and I heard a voice. And it said, if you kill yourself, thank you, if you kill yourself, you're gonna kill a lot of people along with you. I said, huh? He said, if you kill yourself, it's so many people who are going to live hopeless because you're so hopeful. I said, what? I had to think about it, like, well, Joe, what do you do? What is your passion? What are you built to do? Empowering and knowing what you want to do. That's one of the reasons I came here. To get that started, not to stay, but to get it started.
Right.
And it was starting, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. He said, and the voice was like, if you take your life, you're gonna take a lot of people with you, because I didn't know that I would be touching hundreds of thousands of millions of people during this course of my life.
None of us know that. Believe it or not, it's people that look up to us that we probably don't even know.
Right, because I had, like, even on my YouTube channel, I had people reach out to me from all over the world, just asking me questions. Like, I love your content. You know, like, I don't have a lot of followers. Follow me on YouTube, but they be like,
Think Smart TV.
there you go, Think Smart TV. I be like, dang, like a lot of people actually enjoy what I do, and it's like I didn't realize it at the time. So I'm thinking, and I hear the voice, and I understood exactly what it was saying, and exactly who it was. It was God, and I was like, okay, God, I can't do it, but I'm in pain. And it was like, okay. And that's when I understood, and it took me a little bit longer, a couple years, that sometimes God, like he is definitely straightforward, but I understand that sometimes God don't care about your emotions. Because when you look and you think about what you go through to get past that next step,
Man.
like he cares about your emotions, but he does not care about your emotions to get you to where you need to be.
Right.
Because
he already know what he has planned for
exactly, because it's gonna be emotional roller coaster.
you. Yeah, that's
You gotta fight through it, and that's when he said, this is what he told me. He said, push through.
and that's crazy because
And he said so simple, you're like, it's hard! My dude, it's hard! But he's like, you got this.
But that's that's who he is. You know,
Exactly.
he's the Father. So of course
Exactly.
he know what he has planned, and as they always say, God won't put nothing on you that you can't handle.
Right.
It's
He
just
definitely
it's
can.
overbearing to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And I say all of that to say, there's somebody out there that's thinking about committing suicide. Don't do it. Don't do it.
the crazy thing is, actually, I've had two close friends, actually, literally just last week, like publicly mentioned it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So yes, I've actually seen, and it's two people that I never would have thought would have even let that escape their lips, but obviously they dealing with a whole bunch of pain that they just couldn't handle at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thankful that they still here with us. So
I got a friend that her daddy did it.
see,
He took his life. And then he set it up like the way he did it, like, you know,
that's sad.
he set it up and then he just blew his brains out.
Like,
And it's like, I'm like, I don't think, I'm a man, I'm a grown man, and I'm not afraid of anything. But I don't think I could. Even in the course of me wanting to do it, I was like, I think I could pull the trigger, because that's deep.
yeah, that's a different
That's
type of.
That's the next level stuff.
Yeah, and that's crazy. As much trauma as I've been through, that's one thing I can honestly and gracefully say is that I have never come to that point.
Man, I'm glad you haven't, because
I think I
return
did
from
when I was probably like 15 or 16. I did it for attention or some shit because
Right.
I didn't get something. But I've never, and literally, I've been through a lot. Like, I literally just was telling one of my friends the other day, and he was just like, you wouldn't even know that you dealt with any of the things that you dealt with. He was like, because you're such a ray of sunshine. I'm like,
exactly.
oh, thank
That's
you.
what people tell me all the time. Like, I never thought you would have thought like that. Like, man.
Because we have to put this mask on and
Yeah.
get up,
Yeah,
and we have to
every day.
continue to work hard towards things every single day, because just like you just stated, it's people that look up to us.
Yeah.
And if we give up, it's like we letting them down, because they
Exactly.
live in their hopes and dreams through us praying. You know what I'm saying? That they
Right.
get to a point in life where they can do
You
what
give
we
them
doing.
hope. You are
Right.
you are the energy that gives them hope. And some people are.
That's
it's
a
hard
gift
to
and a
believe.
curse, though.
It is a gift and a curse. Because you were born to be a everybody's a battery, but everybody might not be that big triple A whatever battery that gives off energy, that gives batteries energy.
Right.
And some people are that people, and it's not. And people's like, oh, you think you special? Hey, I didn't ask for this.
No, I say I know I'm special because the Father above told me that.
Of course that. Man,
Well, I
but
mean, it's just the truth.
it is the truth. You know what? And I take it and I say I'm grateful and I'm thankful for it. And I thank God for it, because I do help a lot of people. I have a lot of people that call me on a regular basis, and I help them talk through their
Same
problems.
here.
I help talk through their problems, and I don't have one degree in counseling.
That's
Seriously.
okay.
One degree.
But for some reason, we are the people that they
Right.
come to.
My degrees are in advertising and marketing. I don't have a degree in counseling, but people say, Joe, you're just easy to talk to. And I said, okay, I just because I've learned to listen to understand and not listen to respond.
Exactly.
And that's
And
what
then
people like to
again, considering the fact that we probably understand the hardships that people going through, we understand them. You know what I'm saying? So we have a little more compassion than an average person would.
Right.
Because you have some people that was born with silver spoons in their damn mouth. And when I say silver spoons, I mean either both parents in a home, or they were able to, you know, go to college, school paid for, got cars at 16.
I got bills.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, but I'm just saying you have people that's like that literally don't understand the struggle. So when they, you know, are friends with you, that's another thing with me. I don't have a lot of friends because I live in my truth, and that's one thing I admire by my damn self. So I toot my own horn too. Like I say that because because I've noticed a lot of my friendships, relationships, and everything have failed because people were not living in their truth, and people can't handle me because I'm a realist, and it's just like what you see is what you get. I'm transparent. I tell you what I want you to know. And you know what I'm saying? So if stuff like this, I don't have a problem with knowing because eventually I'm working on my book. So eventually you're going to know. I actually am doing a process book now, or how-to book, or how to get over depression without taking medication.
That's dope.
So I've actually
I
came through a writer's block, but you know, now that I'm starting to back doing podcasting and stuff, I'm kind of getting back into it. But the reason why I chose that is because I did it without medicine. And I say that because so many people on antidepressants, they get addicted to that stuff. I used to work.
It's toxic.
I'm a medical assistant, a CNA, and you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to transition right now to EMT. So I've been in the medical field for over 11 years. So it's kind of like I've been dealing with that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, for years. So I totally understand it. And I just recently, last year, was working at a drug and alcohol, you know what I'm saying, addiction campus. So it's just like those things is just, people don't understand that it's an illness. Alcoholism is an illness. That's a disease. I'm sorry. That's a disease. And I learned, no, seriously, and I learned that just working there because when I actually looked it up, that's considered a mental illness. And when you looked it up, they said alcoholism and drug addiction are diseases. And they really are though. But people, they don't look at it that way. Like, I used to argue with people, what was it, just a few months ago?
It's a disease then.
No, but it really is considered a disease
Right, I
though.
get it.
But people don't think they don't think smoking weed is an addiction.
It is.
And I know, we know this,
Yeah.
but I literally was debating with people and trying to get them to understand anything that alter your thoughts, your mind, the way you interact with people, anything. I said, and you have to have that to function as an addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously though, you can be addicted to people. People don't get that though. Like, people's like, when have you ever seen marijuana kill somebody? I didn't say it had to kill you, but it's still an addiction. Really, whether however you want to play it, it's an
food
addiction.
is an addiction. That's how you got. That's why you got
obesity.
Obesity.
Exactly. But again, that's why I say people be so closed-minded they don't open their brains to that. But
You have to.
you know, I started off with childhood trauma, so I know for sure I have plenty of mental health issues. As far as I feel like that sometimes I suffer with abandonment issues. And I'm woman enough to admit that, but see, it's not people out there to admit their issues. So that's why I said I don't have a lot of friends because some of them are in denial, and I hate to say they really are. I have a friend now, and I love her to death, and she probably gonna get mad if she listens to this.
Don't say her name.
But no, I'm not gonna say her name. Okay. I'm not. But she's gonna know I'm talking about her. Okay. But when you try to explain something to her, it's like knocking on his table. She don't listen. She don't want to hear it because she just thinks that she don't have no problem. She don't think it's nothing wrong with her.
She hasn't agreed and accepted.
She has not accepted the fact that she has some type of issue. Like she even told me before.
That's the first thing you have to do.
Is to admit you have a problem. She ain't trying to. She always says she's afraid to struggle because she's so bougie. It makes me sick to the point where I can only deal with her.
Why is she so bougie? Cause I know she's from the urban community.
Yeah, she is. She's from St. Louis too. She lives here. The thing is, she married an African. You know what I'm saying? And when you go from, and true, before she married him, she said she had to take care of herself. I said I get that, but you still had your daddy that has money. You know what I'm saying, to help you when you needed stuff. I didn't have that. When you got married, you didn't work. You know what I'm saying, for 2 years. He took care of everything. So it's like
nothing wrong with that.
No, it's nothing wrong with that. But when I don't even know how to explain it because I don't want to tell her business. I'll talk about that later. Right. But it's just like I don't really know how to explain how bougie she is. Like right now, if we was sitting in here, this would drive her nuts.
Why? This is great.
That's what I'm saying. We us normal people try to be halfway normal
Right.
would be like, that's fine. No, because it's too much clutter. That drives her crazy. And, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Clutter. It ain't even clutter. This is just the fact that.
but that's how bad she is what I'm saying. Any little small thing that's normal to most people would drive her crazy. We went out one day and literally she got mad and sat in the car until I left the club because she did not want to stand in that line. It was just too many people. And she was tired, hot. I mean,
you know what? That kind of goes into like my book. I'm gonna talk about that. But keep going.
but no, I'm just saying. But it's just like with her, we can go out somewhere, and it's so frustrating. Like I be trying to explain to her, I'm like, do you not understand something is wrong with you? No, but I said something is wrong with you.
Yeah,
I said I can't think of a name of it yet. I said, but I'm telling you now
tedious.
that
She has tedious.
you have an issue.
It's tedious that she would think that, like where we are right now, we're in a studio.
It
We're
will
in a
though,
recording studio.
because it's too much going on.
So
That will bother her.
you're gonna have cameras. You're gonna have mics and lights places.
But the
that's
thing
too much for
is,
her.
but see, the thing is, she been through a lot, and that's what I'm trying to explain to her. That you have been through so much. I said you are so cold-hearted. Some stuff that you say, like, okay, for instance, I figured out something. We were at the nail shop the other day, and her friend, she got her kids iPhones. Nothing wrong with that, but I just honestly feel at a certain age, these children should not have no damn iPhone. Just certain. That's just me. Parent how you want to parent. I don't have children, but I just know that my child, especially if they're going to be doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, or better yet, if I feel like it's going to be a distraction, you're not getting no cell phone. You're going to get a regular phone for emergency reasons only. You know what I'm saying? No Wi-Fi, no nothing. If that's how I feel I have to do you, that's fine. But she made a comment because her kids got, iPhones or whatever. And I guess her friend made a comment about it.
On social media?
No, she was on the
period.
phone with him. He texted her. And her response was rude as hell. She was like, well, that's just you. Do that. Something. She was just like, don't worry about what the hell I do. Or something she said. But her response was very rude because she asked me, she was like, do you think that's rude? I was like, yeah, it was rude as hell. I was like, why would you respond like that? I said, you asked him a question. He answered your question. And then you didn't like the response. She wanted them people. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's frustrating.
Right. Before I get into the book thing, we live in a world where we live in a selfish world. Like this generation, it's actually
Selfish as hell.
It's actually biblical prophecy that the world is going to be more into themselves than like helping others. Because you're supposed to love your neighbor. You're supposed to love people in general.
True.
And people don't understand the essence of life is giving and receiving, right? But you have to give to receive. Like, we talk about the universe all the time.
Right.
People talk about the universe. You have to put out in the universe what you want to receive in the universe, right?
So to elaborate on that, and I'm speaking for myself, and I've heard other people too though, but what if you put out all the good you can and you still don't receive that back?
But this is the thing. It's impossible for you not to receive it back. It will come back to you because you're sowing.
Maybe just not the way we want it.
Right. You're sowing into. It's like, all right. It's just like planting. If you plant an apple tree, you're not going to get oranges. It's impossible for you to get oranges.
True.
If you plant oranges, you're not going to get apples. You can't plant something and not receive that. But the thing about it is, like you're talking about, when it comes back or how long you come back. Because sometimes we're waiting on it to come back.
I know I am. I'm not even gonna lie.
But just like you plant something, it takes time. Like if you plant an apple tree, it's gonna take a minute for it to be an apple tree. Because it has to build its roots, it has to be watered, it has to be sunlight, has to hit it. All of that has to happen. So you have to understand that it takes time for it to come back. Sometimes it comes back like this, like real quick, but sometimes it doesn't. What people have to understand is when we talk about the universe, planting, whatever the case may be, and it's with mental health too. If you put that energy out there, and we call it energy now, and you put that energy in the atmosphere of the universe, it's going to come back, right?
Right.
And people don't understand that your mental status, no matter if you like, because people want to say, "Oh, this is just how I am." No, it is not. It's how you want to be.
Thank you, because that's her go-to saying.
You choose. Like my book is called "Choose Your Script: Thinking Positive in a Negative World."
I can't wait for you to come up there.
Appreciate it. You choose exactly what you want out of life, and it manifests to become reality. Your reality. So people like, this is just how I am. You can choose to be a good person, or you can choose to be a bad person.
True.
But it's your choice. It's not you're designed. God designed everybody to be a great person.
But that's a mental disorder.
It is a mental disorder. That's what I'm leading to.
And that's what I'm saying. People,
It's a
that's what I'm
mental
saying.
disorder.
We all have them. Every single individual in this world has some type of mental disorder,
And
whether it's
some of it is
anxiety,
because of-
depression, anything.
Man, it is. But okay. And I'm learning, like, I want to talk about, because you was like, Joe, let's talk about mental, da 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. And I'm really big on the transition of your mind, but you have to, like, what people don't understand is, like, I talk to people all the time, and it was like, well, Joe, how do you get to that point to where you think the way you think? How did it just happen? I said, it didn't just happen for me, but you have to say, I have a plan. I want to think different. I want to see different results. So how do I get there? Man, I go to sleep listening to audio books. I read books, so many books. Because I'm a deep reader. It took me forever, but the last 10 years of my life, I've been such a reader. I listen to audio books in my car. Like, I turn off the radio. It's good to listen to radio if you want to listen to it for music, you know what I'm saying, for that, because that's still a spiritual thing, but you have to embed yourself with this information and meditate on that information on a regular basis to actually get yourself to discipline yourself to change your thought process. Because you'll never get there. You can go to a million conferences. You can go to a million workshops and still not get nothing from it because you're not disciplining yourself to do it outside of these conferences.
That goes with the saying, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Exactly.
You can't help nobody that don't want to be helped.
You can go to, you can talk about the church and the mosque and all these religious places that people go to. They can go every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but if you don't discipline yourself to apply it to your life,
right,
it will never happen for you.
That's something that we gonna have to change.
That's
something we have
to
to change.
And that's a mental. That deals with your mental. If you want anything out of life, you have to understand that your mind, your brain, is one of the greatest tool and the greatest thing we have is our spirit. We're all spiritual beings. The second greatest thing I say we have is our mind.
That's why they say a mind is a terrible thing.
It is a terrible thing.
That's a very, very accurate and true statement.
I'm bringing that back to life. St. Louis, shout outs. I'm coming home. I'm doing a literacy awareness campaign called Think Smart and Read to bring back the literacy and bring back literacy awareness.
So make sure y'all attend.
Make sure you come out, but only the first 50 people getting in, because after that we cut it out because I can't do it that big this first time because it's just a campaign.
Hey, you start off small and work your way up.
But when I come back to Dallas, we're doing it in Dallas in January, February. I talked to a bunch of educators here. They love the program. They love what I want to do. Follow with the workshops. They love it. So we're gonna do it here too. But in St. Louis, I want to do it real small. Have the right people there. Let's talk about it because I want this thing to move.
Right.
Because it all starts in the beginning of transitioning your thought process. That's mental. Because mental health sometimes, all the time, starts with you saying, I won't change.
Yeah.
If you don't agree and say, I want to change, it will never happen for you.
That's what I'm saying. People, you have to want to change, and this is something that I was just speaking earlier. Like I said, I've been through a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't even know how to describe it up again. Like my first trauma as a child, I was molested by my own cousin at 3 years old. Mm. So I remember exactly what happened. Like it fades a little bit, but I remember the significant parts. And it's sad because it's like when you go through traumatic instances or situations like that, for a 3-year-old to remember it is kind of, I don't know, it fucks me up because I just be like, I really can like remember that. And that's how I feel like.
Sure, but it does. I know.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel that a lot of people ask me, why I don't talk to my family. That's why. My father and them, I feel like, kind of shunned me and made me the black sheep of the family. And I'm just like, I never asked to be molested. When I was a child, like, I think my cousin was like 13 at the time, maybe, or whatever. And, my mother was just like my grandmother, tried to blame it, on my cousin having lead poisoning, whatever the case may be, right from wrong. And at the same time, even if he, you know what I'm saying, didn't know right from wrong, you know what I'm saying, he had some issue, whatever case may be, for you to make me feel like, you know what I'm saying, I did something, I feel like that was very, very hurtful, and that's like one of the number one reasons as to why I don't mess with my dad's side of the family. And I'm 32 years old, and I literally have no relationship, literally.
I got an exclusive for you.
Oh, Jesus, what's that?
I got an exclusive, man. I've never said this on any podcast. I've never told anybody this. This has been kept a kept secret of mine for the last 30 plus years of my life. I got an exclusive for you. I got an exclusive for y'all, all y'all. I was molested also.
And see, people
by my cousin. I was about maybe about 7 months. I won't reveal her name, but me saying this, people of my family who know, they'll know who it is. It was in Chicago. I'm from St. Louis, but it was in Chicago. My grandfather stayed in Chicago. I was staying with one of my cousins. She was babysitting me. She was a rebel. She was definitely a rebel. She was wild out there in the streets. It's funny because she's like almost 50 now. She's just now kind of calming down. But she did some things. That I would never forget. I was like 6, 7, 8, whatever.
I'm actually happy that you actually chose to do that on my show.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm saying I'm happy about that is because it's a lot of men out here that have had that happen, and they have not spoken about it, and that causes a lot of anger buildup. Again, that causes you to become so cold-hearted, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Common just came out about that. You know what I'm saying? And it happened to him. He actually was on. He got a book about it. He was, I think, talking to Oprah or some interview I seen. He actually talked about it, and he just said he chose to talk about it because it's too many men out here. He said that has experienced it but won't speak about it.
Interesting, because I just at the moment I was just like, someone's just like, just tell it because it's gonna help somebody. Like, literally, like, I'm glad I got these glasses because I tear up. And I'm holding back.
Oh, you good?
I'm holding back. But yeah, that situation, holding in that, knowing that, I don't know, like, you don't really know how it affects you until you get older. You start, because you relive those things.
Again.
I would say this, my father's side of the family, we suffer from, I say whoredom, and I fight that battle because I don't want to live that life. And that sexual struggle of wanting it all the time, I had to fight that. But I've done a great job at it because in my mind, that mental disorder, in my mind, it's like, you know, you have to transition your mind to like, Joe, again, choose your script. What do you want out of life? Do you want, like, cause you see examples.
Right.
You see all these examples, like, do you wanna live that and go through that struggle? No. So how do you change it? You have to discipline yourself, and if you gotta hold yourself, find another hobby, find something that's gonna take over your time. You have to do
and see, it's a struggle for men to do that. It's not a struggle for us women.
It's not a struggle for y'all. For some reason, like,
for some reason,
women, they are okay, and they be like, I'm celibate. Like, okay.
I won't say I'm celibate, but I was just recently talking to somebody, and ever since me and that person had stopped talking, I have not slept with nobody, because that's just me. I'm one of those people that if I sleep with you, I'm sleeping just with you.
Right.
I've never been the type to sleep with multiple people at the same time. Nowadays, it's too nasty out here. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. So I'm one of them people. I'm so focused on getting both my business together and getting back into stuff like that. Like you just said, you have to train your mind to focus on what you're doing. Yeah, it's discipline.
It's discipline.
But it's so easy for us. It kind of, you know what I'm saying? I have my days, of course. We hormonal. Of course we want it, but at the same time, you think about, like, dang.
What do you want out of life?
Exactly. Like, to sleep with this other person.
What's more important to me? Because the thing about it is, I learned, and a lot of people ain't gonna like what I gotta say. I learned a long time ago that it ain't empowering. It's just something to do, and it don't bring happiness. It does not bring happiness.
But you'll be amazed at how many people actually go to that. For like people that's addicted to sex.
After you do it, it's like, okay, stay with her, stay with her, stay with her, stay with her. Because I went through a period of time in my life when I was like that, because it's like the accepted thing to do. And I was like, okay. After I did, I was like,
Do you think you were like looking for something, trying to fill a void? And
I was. You do be trying to fill a void, and then you don't. But this thing is a void that you'll never fill. You're always searching, and you be like, you get done, you just like.
Having sex, that moment lasts for however long. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gone.
After that explosion, you be like, okay, I can go home. It was like what 50 Cent say? It was nothing. You be like, no matter how good, you like, it was good. Oh my God, it was good, but nothing was ever during that time in my life. It was nothing ever that was just so mind blowing, because I was like, oh, I'm just staying. Okay, case scenario. I have a few young ladies that call me for mental guidance and just like counseling and stuff like that, right? And these are young ladies that went to the collegiate institution that I worked at, my alma mater. And I mean, I talked to a lot of people. They called me particularly on their guy friends that they were talking to, because they was trying to figure out like if they was like, it's all about sex. They think it's all about sex, and I told them sex ain't love and love ain't sex.
True.
I said, you have to understand that.
I need somebody to stimulate me mentally as well.
Exactly. They was like, what you mean, Joe? I was like, you say he was your best sex partner, and that's why you so-called love him. I said, that's not love. That's infatuation. I said, but what if you're not his best sex partner? So you're in love with him, but he's not in love with you. Exactly. So now you're chasing him because of sex. I said, sex it can't sustain a relationship.
Looking for love in the wrong places.
All the wrong places. Because it can be good, but then what else does he have to offer you?
So when people say stuff like that, do you ever think like, okay, what have she been through in her lifetime that's making her feel?
Yes, I do.
That's what I be telling people.
I do.
The decisions and things that we do, it's a form of mental health. That's what I'm saying. It's a mental illness that we, for some reason, somehow managed to accumulate from anything that we went through. Because her doing that could be her father maybe that had been in her life. Maybe she felt like she wasn't worthy of love, and that was the only person that ever loved her. I'm speaking from experience because I went through that. So it's just like those type of things I think of as well.
It's so many of us that need to sit down and talk to somebody.
And I do.
And counseling.
Shout out to Ms. Rosa Richards, and I love the fact that she is okay with me shouting her out, because I already asked her.
That's a plug. That's a plug. Shout out to you. I'm gonna come see you because
I'll give you her info. I've given a few people her info.
Because sometimes you just need somebody. Everybody needs somebody to talk. Even the counselor.
Yeah, I done been through abusive relationships, emotionally, physically, and mentally, all of the above. Every abuse that you can think of, unfortunately, I have been through, except for rape.
That's good.
That's the only thing.
I know some women that have been raped. I know some men that have been raped.
Yeah, I do too. And actually, one is a motivational speaker right now, and that's crazy. Yeah, I know one too. But
how is that possible? It can happen.
You know what?
So being taken advantage of.
If anybody is listening, shout out to Diego Fuller. He is one of the best motivational speakers. You have to look him up on Instagram. His name is I am Diego Fuller. He is a big advocate for that, and to hear his story, if you heard that man's story, you honestly would probably look at him and like, how you walking around blessing other people the way that you are, knowing that you've been through the things. But his story is so empowering. When I met him at a D1 concert this past summer, he's awesome.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something.
He's awesome.
Y'all better wait for it, because I got some things coming up. Because what you just said, I want to elaborate on that.
Go ahead.
With my videography, working with your producer, he's gonna become one of the producers I work with. Shout out to King, man.
I know, right?
Shout out
at
to King.
NSC Studios.
Yeah, shout out to King, man. See, we NSC Studios, man. But you know, everybody know me for Think Smart Studios and Think Smart Enterprises. You know, Mr. Think Smart is the character, which is me, the showcase of that, right? But like, I have some visuals I want to put out there, and I talked to King about them, and we're gonna put out some visuals. We're gonna do some stuff that's promotional health, health awareness, and things such as that. But those visuals that I want to do, I'm gonna put those out there because people need to see the transition of change. It's a lot of people out there doing it. I'm not saying that it's not people out there doing it. I'm the first to do it. No, I'm
It
not.
don't matter.
But
We
I'm
all
going to do mine.
Kmart, Target, and Walmart all doing the same thing, but they
exactly.
ain't watching each other's pockets.
Exactly. I'm going to put out my stories. I'm going to put out my blogs. I'm going to put out my little segments. No matter if it's a minute we record. I don't care if we record for 3 hours, but it's only 60 seconds of what we put out there.
Right.
I'll make sure it's powerful for people to understand because
Most definitely. And I'll help in any way you need me to.
I appreciate it because my objective is to transition minds, like you know what I'm saying, make people better. Think Smart, being the character of Mr. Think Smart, the character behind it is a part of me, is me, but it's a character of me. It's all I'm saying is I'm thinking better. Mental health. I'm taking advantage of what I need to take advantage of.
I think for anybody to be a better person, they have to take care of their mental first.
You have to. That's why the movement we got is Think Smart. Think Smart.
Like they say, you can't.
TS Gear.
There you go. You see that? Yeah, I gotta give me a shirt. You know, he forgot it and stuff.
I'm sorry. I got you though. TS Gear, the Think Smart gear. Like that's what we producing. Like you know, this is my gear. Shout out. Email me. We'll get all of that. But if you want to get it. We haven't went viral with it yet because
I'm be glad when you do so they can know about it.
Yeah, we just want people to kind of see. We want to feel and see how people like it. We know people are gonna like it. We just want to kind of put it out there slowly but surely.
Sure.
I always say surely but surely. But Think Smart gear. I want to transition people's minds. I want them to think. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to replace what would Jesus do.
Right.
But Think Smart. You know, Think Smart.
You want to be just as good as that.
Right. I want to be just right behind it. Right behind it. I want to be before. I'll be behind it because I want you to be able to look at that gear and wear something with it and like make a better choice.
Like they always say, you can't. What they say, you can make a person, a person that doesn't see anything wrong with their behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost a lost cause.
It is a lost cause.
And I say that because I was one of them people. I probably was mean, and I was very cold-hearted, bitter, whatever you want to call it. I was all those things at one time. And I'm a Taurus too, so we naturally are stubborn. We are very stubborn. That's okay though. Whatever. But no, like I said, at 3 I was molested. Then it's like I was in foster care.
Yeah.
From like 6 years old, went back to my mom, got out of foster care, and I was probably like in 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And then it was like people don't understand that I was robbed of the luxury of having both parents in my life.
Me too.
So a lot of people, we joke about it, we talk about it or whatever, but I'm just like, people that see me and my mom interaction, some people like, oh, that's your mom, don't do this. And I be thinking to myself, mind your damn business. And I'm like, I get it. I'm like, but don't speak on a situation that you do not understand or know. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm choosing to take care of my mother because that's what I choose to do, and I feel like that's what's the right thing to do. Right. That shit ain't easy.
I understand.
My mom, for people that don't know, and I talk about this openly because we all have a drug addict person, in our family, but my mom was addicted to drugs for like over 20 years. Mm-hmm. So had I not brought her here to Dallas with me, I honestly feel that she still would be out in the streets to this day. But she is, 2 going on 3 years sober.
Clean, huh?
Yeah, well, because she got sober before, and then she, kind of backtracked, and then just after that, yeah. But when I moved, that broke her spirit, and I think it did because I'm the baby of the family. Mm-hmm. And so my sister hates me to a certain extent.
Because you took her. But you trying to save
Get
your
a
mom's
little
life.
emotional, but it's okay.
But you saved her life. You saved your mom's life.
I hate when I cry, but excuse me, people. But me and my sister don't have. Me and my sister do not have the best relationship because she feels that my mom loved me more. And I'm like, that's not the case. It's just the fact that I know you're not going to deal with my mama. My sister have 3 kids. My sister have her own trauma that she dealt with. We both were in foster care. You got to think, I was taken away at like 6, 7 years old. My sister was like 8, 9, 10. She was probably like about maybe 12, 13. She was in Annie Malone. She ran away from there because she did not want us to be separated. So my sister was fucking going on 18 years old, like going back to classes, taking parenting classes, doing all this stuff. Mind you, at 18. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be in foster care. They told her she could not get me until she was 21. So when she turned 21, like I said, I was like probably in 8th grade, 9th grade, she got guardianship of me. But then, of course, being a 16, 17-year-old, you know, you want to do stuff your way. I wanted her to be my sister and not my mama. So we kind of clashed on that. And then she's a Gemini. Y'all crazy as hell. But, no, seriously. So it's like we kind of clashed on that. So then I ended up moving with my best friend at the time.
At 16?
Yeah, 17. So I didn't, like I'm saying, like I literally was on my own for a while. Yeah, graduated with that state with my friend. And I'm not gonna say no names, but I'm sure Melville.
Melville,
Melville, and I went to North Tech as well. You know, just have their program. But I stayed with my friend, and I'm not gonna say no names. But her dad used to always, you know what I'm saying, make passes at me. Mind you, I'm 17,
her
16,
dad?
17. Yeah, her dad.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
King, well, how much time we got? We good? Okay, I'm just making sure.
We just messing with you.
Shout out to the producer, man. Man, King, man.
He crazy, but I love him. He crazy. But yeah, so you know, he used to mind, like I said. So if I wasn't in the mind that I was of probably 16, 17, being molested or possibly raped could have possibly happened again. You see what I'm saying? So, but I think when he seen that, like I wouldn't really like. I changed the subject if he made, you know, sexual comments or things like that to me. So it's just like dealing with that all through my life and not telling nobody. That part I never told nobody because I, at that time, because I didn't
Breaking news, both of us.
Yeah, right. Well, because I didn't want to fall out with her about that because then I would have been homeless because my sister left. That's another thing. That's why I tell people I've been through so much emotional trauma. Dealing with that. So I feel like if I wasn't in the space that I was in, I could have possibly been raped. You know what I'm saying? But thankfully, I wasn't. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. I was happy. My sister left me probably when I was 18. So I graduated with nobody at my graduation. I think my mom's sisters came. But I don't have no relationship with them. So, you know, it was exciting because I'm like, dang, okay, I got my mom's sisters here with me. But we don't have no relationship. Like, I didn't grow up knowing you all like that. They don't even deal with my mama. Like, y'all are just now.
And people don't understand how much trauma it is, like, to be
just within that.
Right, within it, to be at a graduation. I can see it. I'm a visionary. I can see it. You got graduation. You got people taking pictures of their family, people whatever, and then you don't have anybody. Yeah. That is a different type of pain.
Oh, of course.
A different type of mental stress that people don't understand, and mental.
But it also shows why I'm such a loner now, though. People don't realize, like, I go out to the club by myself, I hang by myself, because when you're so busy being let down, I do understand. You get tired of it, so you just like, F this, I'm good, I got myself.
You know what? I realized this the other day. Well, not the other day. It was like it happened to me again the other day. But people like us that have been through that, you learn how to deal with it, but you learn how to move forward with it. There is, with me, I don't know how it is with you, and this happened maybe about 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. I was talking to somebody. I was trying to get. It was about my shirts. I was talking to one of my homeboys about my brand and things like that. Getting off in it. He got some things off, and he was doing his thing in a major way. And I was asking for some assistance, just on some knowledge on how to do it. Right. And now, because you want to do it right. It's easy to just say, oh, just do this, but you just like somebody doing it. You like try to get some information from him. And he basically just hit me up and was like, I ain't gonna be able to help you. I can't help you. And you like, what? You know, in your mind, you're like, what? But you just like, okay. But it's like this.
Did he ever explain why?
He never. I mean, he's still my homeboy to this day, and he's supporting now with the brand because I got it all. But
ain't that always how they do it?
But it wasn't a negative thing. He had some other things going on where he couldn't help. But it's like, I know you help so many other people. I know I've been loyal as a loyal friend, loyal brother, whatever. But when he couldn't do it, I felt that. I don't know what this feeling is in my body, just run through
that
my body.
disconnection, that rejection, that feeling of aloneness.
But it's like a cold, heated feeling, just like
it lets you down.
And you just like, okay.
And unfortunately, that's kind of what we've been doing forever. Right. And eventually it explodes.
But that feeling gets stronger and stronger sometimes based off the letdown. You You know the feeling. You know that tingling to go through your body. You just like, But what I did and what I've been doing the last 4 years, I've learned how to not allow that to control me.
True. That's something I worked on. That wasn't easy to do.
You
Cause
cannot allow those disappointments and that mental disappointment, because they're mental disappointment.
Heck yeah.
To control your.
They cause psychological issues.
They do.
It really do.
You gotta fight through the pain. You gotta. Fight through
It's a very.
Excuse me.
It's not easy, but it's like, you know, going through graduation, you see your aunties up there, that's cool or whatever, but it's like, you want to see your mama, your daddy, you know what I'm saying? I got 4 damn sisters. Mm-hmm. Now, one of them motherfuckers was at my graduation. One moved to Austin, Texas, you know, she went to go better herself with her kids, the one who got me out of foster care, and I used to resent her for a while after that because...
Austin?
No, she back in St. Louis because she came back because my mom had a mini stroke, which I get to. It's just like, so then after graduation, you know what I'm saying, I had my own place since 18. So it's just like going from working at 17, getting myself through school, then I'm right on to responsibilities. I didn't even get a chance to freaking enjoy, you know what I'm saying, still being young or even possibly going to college, because at that time, you know, you gotta, you only get financial aid unless you're awarded the state until you're 18. After that, you got to go, considering I was awarded a state, I had to go through so much of a process with financial aid because you had to show them you wasn't awarded a state. You have to, it was just so much of a hassle to go through for an 18-year-old. So that's why I didn't go to college. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why I did not go to a university. But it's like, right at 18, after doing that, I ended up meeting my first, I guess, boyfriend, serious relationship outside of that. That's when all the physical and emotional abuse started with that. Already not healing from the other trauma. That was another issue I have, I think, in relationships in general. It's like I wasn't healing from past trauma, and I was going into a situation thinking that it would, you know what I'm saying, keep my mind off that, but then end up going through some more crazy stuff.
Topic, healing.
Yeah, so yeah, that's one I have too, though. But it's like, actually one of my topics for another show is going to be called Undoing Trauma. So, yeah, I'm working on that too. But, so it's like after that, I was 18, 19, he was like 24, 25. He lied to me about his age, for one. Why would you do that? I don't know.
So you was 18, you was 25.
Yeah, but he told me, I think he was like 23 or something. It was some young, and the way I found out was crazy. So it's just like, did that, end up, again, I'm young, you know what I'm saying, not having both parents, you know what I'm saying, not knowing what love is, relationship is, you know, you like this person, he ended up moving with me. Like I said, I've had my own place, he moved with me. I have never had to live with anyone, I've always lived on my own.
So he was 25 years old and moved in with 18?
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I was going on 19, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I was working at Kohl's and Bath and Body Works. I had 2 jobs, was catching by state, you know what I'm saying,
You hustle.
to school. Oh yeah, I've always been a hustler. I ain't had no choice. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have no choice but to hustle, you become good at it over time. Right. So it's just like, I didn't learn how to drive until I was like 21 because I didn't have nobody to teach me. He actually taught me how to drive, and actually bought me my first car too. So after that, it was like everything, of course, is always good in the beginning, but then you start realizing all the crazy shit he did or been through or put other people through. It's just like our relationship just started to dwindle because he actually said out his mouth one time that he felt that I was further in life at my age than he should because he was older. So in my opinion, it was like, you jealous of me. So now I gotta sit here and fight and argue with you. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, his mom was an advocate for domestic abuse and didn't even know that her son was sitting up here abusing women. When she found out, she actually disowned him for a while. They stopped talking for a very long time. And he blamed it on me. And I was like, well,
blamed it on you?
Yeah. Because she found out through me, and it was kind of by default, because I think I was calling her to let her know how crazy. Because I told him that, because see, that was one thing he was afraid of, because he didn't want his mom to know. Because, of course, if something was to happen...
Ashamed of it.
Yeah, he was ashamed of it. So, yeah, when I told her...
Which he should have been.
I told her, and actually, I think I was calling her for something else or something, and he got so mad, and I'll never forget this day. I had the phone in my hand, and he didn't know she picked up. Hell, I didn't even know she picked up because I'm too busy fighting with him, trying to get his hand off my damn neck. So, like, I got the phone in my hand, and I'm sitting here arguing, fighting with him, and I never forget him. He slapped me twice, and I remember busting his lip. Yeah, I'm one of them people, you hit me, I'm hitting you back, period. Like, you not... Like, that was the first time I ever experienced a man putting their hands on me. And it took me for a loop, and all I saw was red. And at that point in time, I just remember we was in there fighting. It was just, we was in there fighting. And at this time, I think we was together probably.
So
like
it went from mental to physical.
I went through all that stuff, emotional, all that stuff. Right. So it's just like we went through that process. And I was young, didn't know no better, so of course, you know, we was mad at each other, and then we went right back to talking. Everything was cool, 2 or 3 days later. And I hated, you know, that I didn't have that type of guidance at a young age because I allowed myself to even go back. Because I was with him for a good 3, almost 4 years. So it was just like, and it didn't do nothing but get worse. The last straw was when he cheated and got a girl pregnant.
Wow.
I was getting out of the hospital for something, and I just remember a girl kept calling my damn phone. And she kept playing on my phone, asking for different people. And then finally, she just asked for him. And, you know what I'm saying, she was telling me...
Same number, asking different people.
Yeah. Kept calling back.
Come on, man.
Retarded stuff.
Man, come on.
Retarded shit.
Think people.
Oh, come to find out, like, he... right, you know, I guess, at that moment, we women, we emotional. So she was pregnant, clearly. You know what I'm saying? She was like 3 months pregnant at the time, mind you.
3 months.
But I'm gonna get to that. But like, okay, so fast forward, after we did all of that, and I will never forget this day, it was November 9th of 2000, I believe. Now the date was 2009, it was 2009, it was November 8th. November 8th or 9th, I don't remember the date because I tried to get that out of my head. But it was like November 8th, November 9th of 2009. I was in a 2004 Dodge Stratus, and he was mad because I didn't stop to get off the highway to go and pick up his friend because his friend worked at the mall with us. He was going to come work with him or whatnot. And he got mad. That was the first time I ever, like, got this close to dying. Like, I escaped death. And what saved me was a damn Old Navy bubble coat. Shout out to Old Navy. Like, y'all need to come back out with them coats. The coats with the annoying-ass feather. Like, no, seriously.
What did he do?
He grabbed the wheel of my car. My car spent around on Highway 70 right there at the Berkeley exit. And
that's my hood.
You so silly. My car spent around in the middle of the highway. Mind you, it's cold as hell outside. And another truck hit us, and it made my car crash into the medium and had our car, like, leaning over the thing. So, yeah.
A truck hit you?
Yeah, a truck ended up hitting us, and that's what made us spin around even more. It was some older people, too.
So how did the Old Navy...
Because I had it on, and somebody swing at you, your instinct, you know what I'm saying, is to block it. So when I never been in a car accident, that was my first ever car accident. And when he grabbed the steering wheel of the car and the car stopped, my instinct was to just block my head. And the cushion of the coat kept my head from cracking my skull on the steering wheel. And when the truck hit me, the door was this close to me, but I had on the bubble coat. It didn't pierce my side. Even the fire people was just like, had I not had on this coat, that door would have pierced my side, and I possibly would have bled to death because, mind you, we was on 270. Taking 70 to 270. So traffic was terrible. Ambulance, that's what I'm saying. Ambulance, it took a minute for the ambulance to even get to us because it was so much traffic. They had to clear the way.
Anybody in St. Louis, you know what we're talking about right there. That 70, 270.
Yes, terrible.
When you're merging those 2 lanes, terrible where it splits.
Yes.
Yeah, right there. I know exactly where you are when you.
Yes.
Because the Berkeley exit right here, then you pass that and it had
Exactly, and that's exactly where we was at.
That's where you was spinning.
That's where I spent.
You know what's so crazy? My cousin had an accident there too.
Cause traffic is terrible.
Crazy, and the car was destroyed. Right, it threw him from the car on the side. He walked away from there. What happened was he ended up getting thrown from the car, and the car was like messed up, and he ended up like getting up, walking a couple paces, then he just fell out. He was in the hospital, and they said, boy, it wasn't nothing but God, because he threw you out the car, you landed, he basically threw him out the car, allowed him to be thrown out the car in enough time.
Before it exploded?
Before the car hit, burnt up, whatever the case may be, and then
that's what
he landed in in the grass in the pasture to where he landed softly, to where he was just delirious.
Wow.
To where he got up, he walked, and like whoa, and then just passed out. When I say he didn't have no injuries.
That's crazy.
But you look at the car. When we looked at the car, I was like, looked at him like, bro, you know you walking right now like you ain't got like nothing's wrong with you.
That's
bro.
how my car was. He was messed up, but thankfully all I had was a bruise from the seatbelt and I had like glass in my face. I had scratches on there. But yeah, the fire people told me they was just like, had you not had on this coat, you would have bled to death because the door was smashed all the way
Old
in.
Navy coat.
Old Navy coat.
That's what I said. We saying your name too much. We need a sponsor.
For real though.
Check.
But me being me, I'm petite. I got a taser now in my bag, so I keep something on me. You know what I'm saying? I got a big old tire ride too, ready to bust my motherfucking head. Like that's just me. I keep my stuff next to me, and hey, you hear me from St. Louis for real? Like I keep some because don't get me twisted. I want a gun eventually, but I know that I had anger issues, and I probably would have shot somebody in the big toe just because I didn't want to kill you.
Like I'm not gonna tell too much of my business, but I do have my license to carry. I do have my license. When I'm at St. Louis, it's a different type of carry because
I already know.
You have to because of whatever. Like Texas is funny because you don't have it's not as a desperate need.
Anybody from St. Louis understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
So trust
Anybody
me, we know.
Yeah, we know. So I've been to people have invited me out to clubs and whatever, and I went, and it's just so funny that you get checked for ID and the club is popping. And nobody got frisked. And everybody has a great time and go home.
Exactly.
And that don't happen back home.
Not at all. They got metal detectors. Remember they had put the metal detector in the loft.
Yeah, you have to. You have to have metal. But what I'm saying this to say that nothing wrong with getting your license carry, but I have a license carry. But I was saying when you wouldn't after going through those classes, because you got to go to like 4 or 5 hours of classes, you take, get your license, all that stuff. After going to the class and you think about it, whatever. Like I thought, man, like I'm be, cause where you grow up, you like, do I really want a gun and have it legal on me on a regular basis? I can have it on me all the time because I just get mad, just blah blah, blah just blow. But after going to classes and you realize them consequences.
Oh hell yeah, you gonna be smart about it.
You be like, I'm gonna use this when I
need
it.
Right.
Cause you legally could put 2 in somebody's chest and get away with it.
That's the crazy part. That's the scary part.
It is the scary part. But you have to it has to be some type of aggression, some type of
of course.
action.
You gotta be self-defense.
It gotta be self-defense, exactly. But you can put 2 in somebody's chest and it's totally
right. But no, I brought that up to say because I kept a pocket knife. You know what I'm saying? In my middle console. So I had to cut myself out of the seatbelt, crawl over his butt, and help his ass. And he's like 5'11", and mind you, I'm 4 foot at the time. So and yeah, I'm 5 feet. So give me my inch. Mind your damn business.
No doubt.
But I had to crawl over him and help him out of the car because he had 4-centimeter incisions. And for anybody in the medical field, know that your legs is damn near broke with that, especially with his because I saw his bone.
Ooh.
So he was jacked up. He was able to stand, but his bone was exposed. That's what I'm saying. So and he had to get 6 staples in his head.
No, let me tell you the type of person you really are deeply. You probably even trip off this. Do you know how passionate and loving you are after you were mentally, physically, and emotionally abused by this man, and you crawled over him, and you literally saved his life? Yeah. Because you was
and took care of him and made sure
after
the fact until I left him. I left him when I found out when the girl told me she was pregnant. So mind you, meanwhile all this happening, you got a whole situation going on.
That's a whole motherfucking Tyler Perry movie.
He had a whole apartment with his homeboy that I didn't know about.
So he had a whole nother career.
Because when we got into it before, I had put him out or whatever, and he was staying in his car, whatever the case may be. And I guess his homeboy needed a roommate, and he must have stayed, but he didn't say nothing about that at the time. I found out, of course, when she was at the apartment. But the thing was, after I crawled over him, I got him out of the car. Mind you, I'm jacked up myself. And I missed my $400 product glasses, okay? I got my life and all, but I'm just saying, the motherfuckers was $400. I had some nice product glasses, too. I'm so mad. That was prescription.
got thrown out of that.
Man, they did. I lost a shoe, my glasses, everything. Like, of course, at that time I wasn't caring, but all he was literally saying to me was, "I'm so sorry." That's all he kept saying. And this stranger, to this day, I do not know her name, and I'm so mad that I don't have her name. But she stood there with us. Her daughter, because I lost a shoe, mind you, it's like 20, 30 degrees outside. She tied a shirt that she had in her car around my foot. She made sure that she was trying to pick the glass out of my face because my face was bleeding. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't bad, but, you know, she was trying to help. She got out what she could. Mind you, these people don't know me.
Daytime.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know me at all. No, it's black people.
Black people.
Yeah, it's her and her daughter. And he was bleeding outside of his head. And she literally grabbed something and she stood there until the ambulance put us on the stretcher. She held his head to apply pressure to that blood. She didn't have to do that. Them people didn't know us from a can of paint. But they stood there with us until the ambulance actually was able to get to us. And she was the one encouraging us along with myself to move away from the car because, again, I never been in an accident. So I didn't know if that car was going to blow up because my radiator was leaking. Everything was out of the car. So I'm scared thinking this car going to blow up. So we trying to get as far as we can away from it. Thankfully, it didn't.
It was just you and him.
Yeah, it was just me and him in the car. Yeah, I pulled him out of the car, and when I got him out, because like I said, he was able to move his legs a little because he was able to stand up. It wasn't for long, so we kind of leaned up against the little median or whatever, so he can have something to lean on. But yeah, he was jacked up. Yeah, he got fucked up more than I did. He deserved it. Because you shouldn't have grabbed the steering wheel of the car.
Yeah, he caused
period. You caused that. Yeah, mad because I would not go and pick up somebody, and he literally just, fuck this, you being so damn evil, and like grabbed the steering wheel and literally.
What do you expect to happen?
I have no idea.
That's the whole thing. Like, if you
to the point where we got into the ambulance, and the ambulance had to ask me to talk to him, and he liked my voice because I know how to sing, so I sung to him on the ambulance to keep him awake, and I just kept talking to him. Mind you, I'm fucked up myself. Yeah, he works.
You still trying to make sure
and this is the first time this ever happened. I never seen this happen because I'm in the medical field now. But they put both stretchers on the ambulances. They let me ride, laying next to him. That's what I would never forget. That's what I said. But they was able to do it though. I was like, damn. I guess because of where we was at, they had to send something, I guess, big enough to handle that because we was on a highway and it was they couldn't get there. They barely got to us. If we was a severe accident to the point where we was, like detrimental, we probably would have died because it was too many cars. Like, it was cars to the point where they really could not pull over. It was cars that literally was probably like close to like hitting each other because the ambulance had to get through. So they eventually had to stop kind of midway, just a tad bit. The fire people did. The ambulance they allowed to keep coming because it would have been too crowded for both of them to get there. Like, it was too much traffic on the highway. So it's like when that happened, the ambulance got there, they had both of us in the back of the ambulance, and I'm holding his hand, talking to him. And then that was probably like which is so damn sad, the first time that like my dad, sisters, and everybody like actually came to the hospital. I said, damn, a motherfucker gotta damn near die. You know what I'm saying? For y'all like to actually come through, you know what I'm saying? But what's so crazy was I was so pissed off at him. I told the nurses, I don't give a damn. Like, at this point in time, just make sure we okay. You know what I'm saying? I pray he okay. But the crazy thing is, I didn't ask about his ass not one goddamn time I was in there. I asked about him probably like one time. The whole time, the nurse kept coming to my room almost every 5 minutes because he kept asking him, was I okay? Yeah, after you done tried to kill both of us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you feel some type of way.
You tried to murder him.
Damn near. You know what I'm saying? And what's so crazy though, my dad, we don't have a relationship, but that was probably the first time I probably honestly seen how pissed off my dad was.
Because my thing is like, what was going through your mind mentally?
Right.
Like, mental health. To just
he had a whole bunch of mental health
like issues. It's different if you at the stops light in this river and you just grab.
In the middle of the highway.
In the middle of the highway while you driving and somebody
doing 70 at that.
Doing 70. It's just like, what do you think gonna happen? What do you think gonna happen?
At full speed at that.
Full speed. You gonna turn away, and you gonna start flipping like he literally like, because you wouldn't pick up his homeboy, he was willing to kill both of y'all.
Basically.
For your homeboy? For not picking him up? That don't even make sense.
But what's so crazy, what's even worse, before that, he was locked up. I love that man so much. The same homeboy was like my little brother. And I didn't have no problem with picking him up, but again, I was a breadwinner. Every relationship I've been in, I always been a breadwinner. Yeah, he made money and stuff like that, but I always made more than my man. For some reason, that's just how it always happened. Because I'm a hustler. I'm going to go and get it by any means necessary. And it pissed me off because it was like when this Negro was locked up, I was sick. Like, that's how much I loved him. And then I was young. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's your first serious relationship. I was sick for a whole goddamn week. His mama would even tell you. She used to have to call me and make me try to eat something because I wouldn't rest until I knew my man was out of jail because he was locked up for no damn reason because he had a bitter baby mama who seen a picture of us on the dash in the car. And she called the police and said he did something to her, and that man ain't did shit to him. Because I made sure I stayed on the phone with him the whole time for that reason alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew she was that type of person. And she was giving him issues with his daughter. Mind you, he paying child support. His daughter would stay with us. He ended up having his daughter come live with us because we had a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, I still paying child support too.
Right. It was a mess. But I got him out of that situation. You know why? Because I'm that Negro. I had a whole binder. No, real talk. Every receipt that we spent on that baby, I took a whole binder with the plastic end slips. I kept every receipt. I was the one going to make sure, gathering money from folks, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to make sure I handled bills, gathering money from people, excuse me, taking out loans, doing stuff that I probably didn't have to do, you know what I'm saying, to make sure I gave that retainer fee to that lawyer. You see what I'm saying? I made sure I did all of that. Meanwhile, you got a whole chick pregnant, not even knowing this. And this is before the accident. Then when the accident happened, I still take care of you. Cleaned your wound every day. Took you back and forth to your appointment to make sure that, you know, your stitches was clean, that everything was, you know, healing right. After that, I found out, you know what I'm saying, that you got a whole girl pregnant. That's eventually when we split up. But I would never forget that, again, I reacted so emotionally, I could have put my own self in jail. Because I grabbed a butcher knife. And I remember running around the room chasing him with a butcher knife, and he kept telling my mama, he was like, Miss Roche, he was like, get your daughter. I'll never forget that, and it's not funny.
But you know what's so crazy? No disrespect. Like when I did the show, you said you watched it on my channel.
Yeah, and I'm mad because I didn't get a chance to finish it.
Shout out to Think Smart TV. Go check out Think Smart TV. Check out some of my stuff. But when we did the domestic violence.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah, we did the domestic violence episode. I think it was like episode 31. I forget which one it is.
It's called domestic violence, the breakthrough or something. No, the escape.
The escape.
The escape.
Right. The escape. Because it talks about my cousin, how she escaped out of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you never experienced a family to actually see love. So you look for love. You found tragedy in love. It didn't affect you to say, I never want love, but you like with my cousin.
I heard what she said. She said she seen it at home. So.
Right, she seen it growing up, and she thought that was normal. So when she got, so it's like subconsciously, and I talk about the subconscious mind all the time. Subconsciously, your mind gathers and it gravitates to that. So it's almost like you kind of like what your subconscious mind do is whatever you put in your subconscious mind, it becomes a radar for exactly what that is, right? Mm-hmm. So it finds that spirit,
hurt people,
that energy.
Hurt people, and then
right.
You attract those type of people.
You attract that,
and don't even realize it.
Don't realize it. So then she got into that thing, and she was in that thing for almost like 20, 30 years.
Yes, when I saw.
And like all the way to his death.
That's crazy.
Cause he died. I met her in.
Don't tell me all of it, because I ain't watch all of it. But I did see up to a extent where she said about 20 years.
Yeah, and I feel like this. He died in 17. I used to do a podcast with her in 2017, and on Power 214. And I remember her going back and forth, dealing with him. And I had just met her because we had met years ago, but we. You've been disconnected, and so we reconnected years later when I moved down here. 2 years after I moved down here. But when I say after hearing her story of going through what she went through, it's funny because she had told me briefs of the story,
but probably just didn't take the details.
But when we did that segment, and I heard that story, and then we talked about it after the fact, I said I didn't know that like that.
Of course, because we hide it. We try to save face and not tell people our issues, and then look how bad it is for us. Because now we emotionally jacked up.
But let me tell you, let me explain to the curse of it. So it happened at her house with her mom and daddy. It happened at her. Then it happened with her and her kid's father. And her girls went through the same thing. because they all thought it was normal. Because when you watch it, you're gonna see like the stuff that was going on. She literally in her mind mirrored that as a perfect relationship. And it don't make you like how in the world, like from a person that know what better looks like that's terrible. But they like, we're happy.
Yeah, like the way the people we are now, we like, dang, that's terrible. But it's like back then in that particular moment, in that type of space that we were in, we thought that was
normal.
love, right?
But
that brings me back to what I said earlier when I said that it's not normal to feel that way, but it has become normalized because it's like when you start seeing that so much, you think it's normal, and it's really not.
and that is a mental disorder.
Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't realize that parents, they trickle down their depression and their issues down to us. Because look at my mom. My mom has suffered from depression. You know what I'm saying? She has been raped twice. My sister dad used to beat the hell out of my mom. Like, seriously. You know, so, and my sister, unfortunately, her father just recently passed a few weeks ago. Crazy thing is, my sister hadn't seen her dad since she was 7 years old. My sister is 40 now. Just reconnected back with him, and then look what happened.
33 years.
Months later, he ended up passing away.
Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
You know, it's unfortunate, but it's just like, I was talking to my sister, you know, asking her, was she okay? And she was just like, you know, she didn't feel nothing. She said, I think I'm more so sad of what she didn't have versus, you know, actually meeting him.
Right, 33 years that she...
Yeah. And it's just sad because I try to explain people, I don't have, and it's crazy because all the shit that I've been through, I still believe in love. I still give unconditional love to people. I still, you know, I still have a heart, and it's crazy because I hate to say this, but I do.
Don't hate to say it.
Because I say that because I hate to be that way sometimes because I feel like people, they see that and they use that to their advantage. I really would hope that. But I actually have two questions that people, it's like 3 of them actually, but I'm actually going to ask them to you because one of them is for a man to answer and not me because I really don't know. One of my Facebook friends asked, she said...
Shout out to Facebook.
I know, right? And shout out to her for sending me this question though, because this is a question I want to know my damn self.
Hey Mark, we need to check.
Yeah.
we know you got it.
Okay.
We know you got it.
Most definitely.
10,000. We just need 10,000. 10,000 real quick.
For real.
For both of us individually.
I'm just saying.
It's 20,000 actually.
Right. He on Instagram too. He got it. He ain't missing it.
Oh, he ain't missing nothing.
Not a thing. But she said, what are ways to get black men more in tune with their mental health? She said, that's an issue I have with my husband. She said, it's a stigmatism in African American community. She said, how can I, as a black woman, be more helpful?
Well, I'm gonna stick with the first half.
The first one, where she say how to get more black men in tune with their mental health.
In tune with their mental health, because I can't really answer how can she get more into it. She just gotta just be involved as she can be involved. I mean, she just gotta move how she move and just see what she. I guess it basically
differentiates between how that person is basically just different from people.
Exactly, different from person to person. So men have to recognize. We talked about that earlier. We have to be truthful with ourselves. It's almost like, you know how like when we were sitting here, we were talking, and I had that little inside of me said, tell the story about me being molested at 7, 8 years old. You have to just be confident that you can release things like that. Like my god brother, shout out to Willie Moore Jr. Out there, my god brother out there.
I love him.
In Atlanta doing his thing. He rocking the TS gear. He
moved to Atlanta?
Yeah, he been in Atlanta for like 7 years.
I always thought he was still in St. Louis.
Oh,
okay.
Him and his family been gone.
Yeah, I don't know him by that name, but anyway.
Yeah. Willie Moore Jr., formerly known as Pretty Willie.
Okay.
Pretty Willie Suella, P Dub, all of that good stuff. You know, you got.
Shorty Wonder. I was gonna start singing his song. Keep going.
So, he's my guy, brother, man. Love him hard. Been knowing him all my life. We from the same neighborhood, Berkeley.
Right.
But you have to, like, he said something one time that really stuck. He was talking about how men need not to be ashamed to cry. And what he was saying, not just tear-wise, but not be ashamed to let things come out. Because as a man, especially dealing with in the urban community, you always told, be tough. I mean, and that is not a bad thing, but you need to know how to release. we're not taught how to release.
Yeah, because if you fall and hurt yourself, the parent be mad at you and be like, suck that shit up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to learn how to be released. Learn how to release, but yet be stern in our release. You can still be a tough person, a hard person per se, like this right here, and be the breadwinner, the man in the house, but knowing how to release. And we can't release, and that's a form of our us not recognizing or being truthful about our mental disorders, is us not being able to release.
Yes.
Because that's why I was telling you, I want to get to know your counselor and see if I can get some sessions, because sometimes you just need to release.
Yeah.
And because we want to release, we want to talk to somebody, but then we're afraid of somebody because we don't want them to think we're weak.
And see, and that's sad because
It is
shouldn't
sad.
nobody. I feel like I love for my man to, you know what I'm saying? I would rather be the person you come and cry to. I wipe your tears. We're going to cry together. We're going to get through it together.
But some men don't think that way.
Of course, because again, they wasn't raised that way either. They was told to not show
90% of us
emotions
not
because they
show
weak.
emotions,
And
exactly.
that's sad, and that is some shit we got to change. I actually have a group on Facebook for anybody that's listening. It's called Healing Brothers and Sisters. I made that group last year, I think. I think it was last year, due to the fact that we don't have too many groups to support men. And I feel like that's something that we need to work on, because y'all have feelings too.
Yeah, we do. We're not. Women are definitely emotional, but we're still emotional. We're just not as emotional.
Right.
But we do have feelings.
But it's
We
like,
do
if
hurt.
y'all not stable, we not gonna be stable.
Exactly. And the thing about it, we try to be so strong, so much, that then we don't want you all to feel like we're weak. So you'll be like, oh yeah, weak, man, I can't be with him, because that's the thing. Women have the ability to control the man when she doesn't even know, because he's trying to be such a certain person.
That's because we don't know our worth.
True, but
in a good way. I ain't talking about in a sense, in a
right.
bad way.
But the man is trying to be so much for the woman and so impressive to her that he lacks the fact that he can be emotionally open to her. Because a lot of men are not emotionally open to their woman because he don't want her, like I keep saying, he don't want her to think he's weak. And I learned it a long time ago, and I just said, skip it. I'm going to express, if I care for the woman and I feel like this is a relationship to where we can actually be together and it means something, I'm going to talk to her about everything.
I think that's only right, because
It's only right.
if you don't tell your mate or someone that you potentially see yourself being with damn near everything, or at least gradually over time tell them, we're not going to know how to love each other.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because we can be revisiting something that happened to you traumatic and not even know it.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm one of them people, if you tell me you've been through something, I'm going to do whatever I can to not put you back through that. Because sometimes we can do that subconsciously and don't even know it.
And women out there, shout out to all the women out there, but if you got a man and he expresses himself, don't look at him as being weak. Don't look at a man who expresses his emotions as being a weak man, because that don't mean he's weak. That shows that he's human.
Hell yeah.
And
to me, that's a compliment. And I say this because, and it's funny because you see stuff like this on Facebook, but it's true. If a man can willingly come to you like that in a very weak moment and express something very sensitive like that to you, that man gave you a compliment. I mean, he trusts you with everything. You know what I'm saying? That's not easy for men to do.
It's not easy at all. And that's the thing. Like, we be holding on so much, and then we just gotta release, and then we trust this one person, this woman that we love. Because this is the thing. Because a man, he don't even want to tell his boys, because he don't want to look weak. It's hard unless you got that special. Like, I got a best friend that I've been best friends since I was 5 years old with, right? Kindergarten. And
That's awesome.
And it takes me some time to even tell him things, but I will tell him anything. But I will hold on to so long till I be like, bro, this is what bothers me. I just need to talk to somebody about it. And he'd be like,
yeah, you
like,
need those people.
You need those, but what I'm saying is, a man, and that's what I'm answering her question. Like she would never understand. You would never understand because you're a man. I mean, you're not a man, but it's the fact that it's just something built inside of us because of how our upbringing, that it's hard to release that. But once you start releasing it, it gets easier, but it's still yet a struggle. It's still a restraint. Right.
So in other words, to help them, for me, I can't answer like the man side, but I think to try to help more men get into their mental health, tap more into their sensitive side is, for one, they have to even be willing.
You have to be willing.
You have to even, first of all, you have to admit you have some type of mental illness and disorder.
Like we talked about earlier, like
and anxiety is one of them. You can have anxiety, depression, abandonment issues. You can be insecure about something. All of those is part of your mental health. If they're not even willing to acknowledge they have an issue, it's gonna be hard to get them to tap into their side. Yeah. If they're at least willing to acknowledge they have an issue, but just don't want to get help because maybe they don't want people to think whatever it is, then you can kind of maneuver them into that a little bit. But they have to be willing and wanting the help. If they don't want the help, it ain't nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. Cause think about this. Even a hug, like, have you ever noticed like the way women hug each other? It's more emotional than a man.
Oh yeah, what's up,
now,
bro? They just do
what's up, bro? No,
right.
But it ain't like, especially even if you know him, like, bro, you know, holding them, like, it's not homosexual, but it's like, bro, it's gonna be alright.
But the day and age we live in, people look at it like that.
Cause I look at it like I can't hold on to it, like, so you. But I'm saying it's like, that's why it's more so like when you do stuff like that, it's more so like family.
Yeah.
Or real close friends. But there's nothing wrong with hugging your boy because you know what I'm saying, like an enjoyment to, like, because he's either hurt or he is, how can I say it, like you happy, enjoy, like, or.
But you never know that hug though, man actually can change somebody's life. Just a simple, how's your day? What you need today will change somebody's life.
That's why I do it. That's why I'm an empowering speaker. Check me out, Miss Think Smart Enterprises.
So D, I hope we answered your question. You so silly.
On
my end, as a woman, I really can't say like how to be more helpful besides listen to them. Sometimes it's best for us women to just shut up. Sometimes not say nothing and actually let the man talk. You know what I'm saying? Right, without judging him. And she love her husband. She been with her husband for a while. So I doubt that she's judging him. You know, but I think that it's just that he probably just one of them men that just don't show his emotional side because he just, I don't know. It's weird because it's men that's really like that, and it really takes for them damn near be 30 and 40 years old before they be like, you know what, hey, this happened, this why I was feeling this way. And it's just like, dude, when I asked you, you couldn't tell me. It took you, 10, 15 years, but all I can say is as a woman, just listen to him. That's it. Sometimes it's best to help without helping or try to do it like discreetly. I don't really know how to explain that. Like, you know how sometimes if a man tell you like some days he just be tired, XYZ, or he tell you about something that's bothering him at work. Some days when he get home from work, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Let him have his peace. If he like taking baths, smoking a blunt, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? You know that he may have had an exhausting day. Have dinner cooked, have him bath ran, something like that. If he like playing a game, that's the type of stuff I do. I try to do stuff without, trying to doing it, because some dudes, they don't want you because they feel like you giving them a pity party. So other than that, I mean, I really don't know because it differs from the person. Every person is different. Is it like, is he willing to want to tap into that, part of himself, or is he being stubborn? Because if he's willing, you can work your way around it. If he's not willing, you just gonna have to let him be. You know what I mean? You just gonna have to listen to him, continue to do what you do to try to be there for him, and eventually, and move on. And eventually, hey, if he decides to come around, he will. But whatever issue y'all having, y'all will get better. I am so excited that I was able to get some of that off my chest, because a lot of people don't know that I've been through some of that stuff. So yeah, some of y'all just got an exclusive.
Exclusive.
So to conclude everything, I always play this game called For the Culture.
For the Culture.
Yes.
Here we go.
So you're so silly. So we gotta see what your skills be like. It's almost like charades. Like I tell everybody, I don't know if you ever played Heads Up. Have you? You have. Okay, it's almost like that, but it's literally nothing but black stuff. So like the categories is Black history, girl talk, guy talk, movies, music, school days, university, TV shows. I've never clicked on these.
Let's go to the 90s TV shows.
What, to go to TV shows?
Yeah, what's that? Say 90s TV.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see. I never
90s,
clicked
or
on
just
that.
90s?
I just never clicked on it to even see. Oh, I gotta download that. That's the exclusive one, so I don't know. So the thing is, what I'm gonna do is, cause it's done a different way, but since we're like, not playing, not standing up or nothing, it's gonna tell me what it is, and I'll have to give you clues for you to guess it.
Okay.
So I don't know what category you think got TV shows.
Yes, we go TV shows.
He like TV shows. He like I
it depends on what era.
And that's the thing. It's all black stuff, but it's not. I don't know. I have to see.
Let's see if I can remember all these TV shows.
Okay.
I hope they good shows.
So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. He real black, ugly, digital underground. Wear the clock on his neck.
Flavor Flav.
What was the name of his show?
Flavor of Love.
There you go.
It's funny. It's funny because I just seen a segment on him. On
he
Black.
played
Shout out to Black.
on Martin. He ain't never had no job.
Tommy. Tommy. Rest in peace.
Oh man. Oh
Rest
my
in peace.
goodness.
Shanae.
Yes. Hey, that's my girl there. This one. Dang. What movie was that? I believe it was Wayne's World.
Wayne's World Party Time.
You so silly, right? But it was a name that he used to always say, and I don't know, cause I wouldn't have thought of this either. So I don't know. You might get it wrong. Yeah, clock kicking. We gonna pass.
Dude.
We gonna skip that. Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay.
Name one.
Name who?
Dang, see, that was the timer went out.
Oh,
it was Nene Leakes. No, I was just saying because I can't name them. Yeah, I can't name them. You technically only got one wrong, which was the
Wayne's World.
It was Wayne Head.
Wayne Head.
Yeah, and I was just like, hey man, I used to love that show though. No, but Shanae, that's I had to do that because that was.
Oh, that was all we done? I passed?
Yeah, that was it. You always
champions,
got one wrong.
Champions always run in the fam.
Before the timer went out.
Before the timer goes out, I'm gonna give my thing off.
But it's your girl, Mizz Allure, aka Turn Up Queen, aka your favorite, your brown sugar babe. There you go, your favorite brown sugar babe. Y'all know. Go ahead and plug yourself. Tell them where they can find you.
Man, let me tell y'all this. One thing about me, I'm always gonna be Joe. I'm always gonna be Joe. So when I plug in and I give you all these names, just remember at the end of the day, I'm Joe. So you got Mr. Think Smart. Well, let's start off first. My government name is Josias Calhoun. Stage name Mr. Think Smart, also known as Joe. Everywhere. Instagram, The Better Joe. That's THEE _ better BETTER _ Joe. JOE. The Better Joe, because I am the Better Joe. Facebook, Josias Calhoun, the government name. You can find my business page, Mr. Think Smart. Instagram.
Plug it.
What else? Instagram is
and I think your YouTube is
my
what?
YouTube and my Instagram for the company is Think Smart TV. So don't just subscribe. Don't just subscribe, watch, listen, learn. We love comments. Sam, not
make
his real
sure
name,
you leave your comments, leave reviews, and like I always say, do not leave reviews just because you know me. I need honest reviews because that will hinder my growth. So I want you to be honest. You didn't like the show, you didn't like the show. That's just what it is. But make sure you're honest. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mizz Allure. It's MIZZ _ ALLURE. Facebook, April Roche. Of course, make sure you shop Helena's collection. You know what I'm saying? I got one of my purses on today, so I gotta make sure I do that. And then you see my beautiful hair. Locks of Love Hair Care _ on Instagram. So make sure you follow your girl. And until next time, peace.